Hello loves, it is Tatiana Volkt here, back with another tabletop TBR game. This is a game that I created to help pick my to be read books of the month. I've been having quite a blast, and I really appreciate all of you guys who have been watching the videos and are excited to get the game once it's available. I will have some more information on that at the end of the video, but yeah, let's first get into how I did with last month's picks. Okay, so if you watched the last video, which I will have linked down in the description box, you may have noticed that I started picking more books each month just so that I can have a thicker selection. So I had some chonkers. I had a good handful of books to read, and I have successfully completed all of them except The Chosen and the Beautiful. I am currently reading it right now. I am 86% done with the e-arc book, and I believe I'll be able to finish it before the month is over. It is currently May 29th, and I think I'll be finishing it by tomorrow. So I'm gonna mark it as a complete, so I will not be taking any punishments for this round. I do have these three at the bottom already in a reading vlog video, my mermaid reading vlog. I did a themed reading vlog and I picked a lot of books. It was a doozy, so I'll have that link down below. And then next week I should be doing a wrap up with the remaining books. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. Okay, so before we get started, I do have some books that I'm hoping to read this month or fit in. These 4 books were a gift from Allison, so thank you so much, Allison. And then this is my pick for the Buzzwordathon June prompt, and then I also have a couple of e-arcs that I'd like to fit in to the month. All right, now that we got all of that out of the way, I don't think there are any updates that I need to tell you about the game, so let's just switch the camera and jump into it. Okay, so starting where we left off, I do mark the places that I end. So this was the last round that I did, so I know that I'm supposed to start there. And then these are the bonus cards that I get to keep, that I've picked over time, that I wasn't forced to use right away. So I have a little collection. Then we have to start with our first pick. So this one is I have to use during this round. So in this video, we'll be using this, and I guess let's get started. First roll is a 3. So 1, 2, 3, and we'll be doing 8 rolls again. All right, so a book with a BIPOC author. All right, so for our first pick, we got a book with a BIPOC author. So I ended up picking Monday's Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. And this is the story of how my best friend disappeared, how nobody noticed she was gone except me, and how nobody cared until they found her 1 year later. So that sounds like a doozy. 435 pages. So this one's a biggin'. Next roll, 2, 1, 2. Enemies to Lovers. All right, then for Enemies to Lovers, I ended up picking Tweet Cute by Emma Lord, and I think this is an Enemies to Lovers. It's basically supposed to be 2 rival families that are both doing social media marketing for their family's businesses, I believe. Pizza shops or something like that, because all's fair in love and cheese, that is, until Pepper and Jack spat turns into a viral Twitter war. So basically they're doing in the midst of a Twitter war, and at the same time they're also falling for each other unknowingly. So it's got that sort of enemies to lovers vibe. I may be pushing it a little bit. Next roll, another 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we've got a double. So we've got set in a different country. Then for set in a different country, I decided to use this opportunity to finally read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. I'm a big fan of V.E. Schwab's books, and I know that this is different than her previous writing. It's got a different vibe, but basically it's about Addie LaRue, who is about to be married and to somebody that she doesn't want to be married to. She just wants to be free, so she makes a deal with the devil or some equivalent to the devil, and is able to live her life free, but nobody remembers her. So she's like 300 years old, I think, when this story begins, and the first person since she made the deal remembers her, and then it's kind of, I think, goes from there, and there's supposed to be sort of a love thing that happens. I don't know, we'll see. But I'm really excited, and this is also my buzzword-a-thon pick for the month, which is a book with a name or title in the title, and I went with Addie LaRue as the name. So also pretty, like, matches my vibes. And new author. So for the first pick, I ended up picking They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera. This is another one of Allison's gifted books for my wish list. So thank you again, Allison. I'm really excited about this. All I know from the back that I read is that these two characters have been basically visited by death, and they're like, you're gonna die in 24 hours, and they decide to spend their last day basically together and have an adventure. And apparently they found each other via an app for this specific thing, because everybody has, 24 hours, I guess, after to live when they know they're going to die. So that sounds really interesting, so I'm excited to check it out. Oh, and new author, I don't believe I've read any Adam Silvera books so far. And for a double, it's optional if you can find one book that picks or uses both of the prompts. That is something that you can do, or you can do them separately. So that's your choice depending on how that month is going for you. Okay, a 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Shuffle, because I feel like I've gotten a couple of these before. Okay, so then we have wild card. Pick whatever you want to read. Nice. All right, and then for our wild card, this is a card that you can save for later, and I probably should. I'm going to tentatively pick a book. I will be allowed to change it if I want to, which is why I'm gonna do this. But I'm going to slot in this chunker, The Priory of the Orange Tree, also a gift from Allison. So 3 of the 4 bucks might make it into my tabletop TBR. And then I'll also be able to use my 500 plus pages bonus points for this if I do end up reading it. And then if not, I will let you know in the next one if I decided to switch it to something else, because I do have at least 1 e-arc that I need to read for the month, so it might be better suited for this instead. But we'll see. This has been on my TBR wish list for ages, or specifically just my TBR, for several years now, and I've seen a couple of reviews for it recently, or have seen it popped up in some people's stuff. So I'm very intrigued. I really want to know what it's about. I have no clue what this is about, other than it's like an epic adult fantasy. I'm pretty sure it's adult fantasy. I hope it is. But it's so big. I have the audiobook, so I'm definitely gonna listen to the audiobook for this one. I'm cheating, I know. All right. 1, oh no. Okay, so we got a punishment card. Actually, let's use one of these bad boys. I think I'm going to use my move +2 spaces card. 1, 2, and turn that into a regular prompt. All right, so we've got a book that's been translated. Okay, I'm gonna have to be honest with you. I'm not sure I have a translated book. I probably do. I just don't know which one, and I don't know the best way to find it. So I'm going to pick again. Yeah, I'm going to pick another one, so. Okay, one is read a book with sprayed edges. I think I have one. One left that I haven't read. Lore by Alexandra Bracken, and I don't know what this is about. I'm assuming it has to do with Medusa, hunt or be hunted. That's kind of all I know, is that it's Medusa, lore, book. But it does have beautiful sprayed edges. I think this is the last book that I have with sprayed edges that I haven't read. I'm not like subscribed to any more subscription boxes, and those are how I got my other ones. So kind of a bummer, but yeah, I don't know. We're gonna find out together. Okay. 3, 1, 2, 3. Get one of these. A book with a green cover, so I have to use that in this round. You always roll after to... Is that right? 1, 2, 3, which is a re-roll. I got a 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now the reason you want to roll more is because you get more options of getting points that you can put on your tracker, but since I'm not doing the tracker right now, it doesn't super matter for me at the moment. All right, we've got seasonal vibes. For seasonal vibes, I went with I Want to Be Where You Are by Christina Forrest. And basically, seasonal vibes should be roughly your current season, which for me right now is spring, summer. So I am assuming by the cover that this has a spring, summer feel to it. There's like a road trip. She's got flowers in her hair. So, and she's definitely wearing it's warm outside clothing. So hopefully this is the right theme. I'm gonna go with it whether I'm right or not. So that is that. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. TBR jar. Okay, it is time for our TBR jar pick. And I filled this bad boy up with a bunch of books. I took out all of the ones that I don't currently own because, as I said, I am trying not to spend any money for a bit. Oh yeah, I have to mix them up a little bit. They're kind of together. Let's see, we've got a selection in here. There's not a ton, as you saw. I took out all of the books that I've already read, or at least I think I did. Here is our pick. Ooh. So we've got, I believe this is Stephen King's 1922. Okay, so for the TBR jar, we're going to be reading Stephen King's 1922. I don't have an audiobook for this one, but it is so small that it should be pretty easy or pretty quick for me to read regardless. So I'm excited to see how this goes. I think I can also use the thriller bonus point. This may be more on the horror side, but they kind of feel the same to me. So I'm gonna just slide this in here so I can get that extra point, because I think I might end up printing out a new tracker and finding some other prize that I can do for the month that isn't monetary. Last roll. 3. 1, 2, 3. Re-roll. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And another one of these. Thriller. All right. 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And our last one is a graphic novel or comic. I picked Taproot by Keezy Young, and I decided to use my green cover bonus point. And this has been something that has been on my shelf for a really long time. I'm a big fan of graphic novels, but for some reason I never find the time to read them. I just kind of hoard them and like flip through them, but then don't ever get a chance to read them. This one seems beautifully illustrated. I love the colors. I love the art style. I think it's very like simple but charming, and I believe it's I want to say it's queer, but I could be wrong. It's a story about a gardener and a ghost, so I will let you know when I read more into it. All right, so that is all of the books that we've gotten for this month. I have a ton of books to get through. Fortunately, this one's a wild card, so I can swap it out if I don't think I have enough time to read this chunker. But other than that, I think I can manage. I tend to read quite a lot, and most of these books I have audiobooks for, so I should be able to read them while working on some of the other tasks that I'll be doing this month. Now, for those of you interested in getting the tabletop TBR game for yourself, unfortunately, it's still in the works. I just haven't had time to be able to work on updating the files and getting them prepared and ready for download. I'm planning on doing a download version first. That way, continue to work on the kinks and not worry about having a bunch of issues that are not fixable. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. It's probably going to be a long project and gonna take a while, but I did want to let you guys know that it is something that I'm working on, and in a few months, hopefully there'll be something that you guys can play. So thank you so much for reaching out to me, for everybody who has been interested in the game. I am so sorry it's taking so long for me to actually get it in your hands. Like I said, hopefully I'll be able to do it this month, being June. Not actually when this goes out, because it's technically still May when this goes out, but this is for the month of June. So hopefully in June I'll be able to work on the updating the digital file, and if all goes well, we'll have something for you sooner rather than later, and if not, I'll hopefully finish it up in July. But that is the current plan. Again, thank you so much, and thank you so much for all of the support. If you would like to help support the channel even more, I have links down below to my Patreon, to a coffee page, to my Amazon book wish list. So if you'd like to, that's all available. Obviously, you don't have to. Just watching my videos is enough. If you've made it this far, please be sure to leave this emoji down below. Or just say hi in the comment section, because it helps the channel and I always like being able to chat with you guys. I love knowing what you are reading, or if you've read. Have you read any of these? And if you have, did you like them? I'd love to know. Now that I have gotten all of that out of the way and done some shameless self-promos, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you in the next video. Until next time, bye!